A new season is upon us. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up is the NFL debut of the 7th overall pick of the draft, Josh Allen of Wyoming, as he and the Bills hit the road to take on a 9-7 team from a year ago, the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back at halftime with a look ahead to the weekend. But first, let's get up to Baltimore and hand things over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Buffalo Bills. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Jackson on first down. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Now Jackson on first down to the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Or you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And that's incomplete. Chris Moore was the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Jackson now. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on his first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's not often that you get 19-year-olds that enter the NFL, but this guy is absolutely special. Tremaine Edmonds out of Virginia Tech, 6'4", 250-plus pounds, can run like a deer. We just saw his ability to flash and make plays.
His brother Terrell also taken in the first round. First set of brothers taken in the first round of the same draft in NFL history. They'll look to run with Ingram. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Ravens averaged exactly 4 yards per rush in 2017, and that's what they need here, 3rd and 4. And he fires one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also, they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Jackson. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had the first NFL touchdown pass for the former Heisman winner, Lamar Jackson, as they have taken the lead. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And he will find Scott on the right side complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. Still going. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's what.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Lorenzo Alexander in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing is Jackson. Dancing to his left. And this is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make... Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. The tackle is made by Micah Hyde.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And that's exactly why the Ravens drafted him, added him to their stable after drafting Hayden Hurst in the 1st round. A second tight end who can catch the football. He looks like a guy who's going to line up on the line of scrimmage and mash you in the running game as a blocker. But his best attributes, splitting out, catching the football almost as an extra wide receiver.
Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now it's Jackson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Play action's supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Now Jackson, eluding the pressure right, flushed out right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Mark Ingram really coming into form in the NFL. First 5 years in the league, didn't have a 1,000-yard season, but he's done it the past 2 years.
Yeah, and I think a couple of reasons for that. Number one, offensive line has been rebuilt, and they put a lot of resources into that, and they've gotten better. Number two, he's had great running mates back there. Tim Hightower 2 seasons ago, then last year, of course, the sensational Alvin Kamara. And last but not least, the defense is playing so much better in New Orleans, they don't have to throw the ball as much on offense. He can run the ball even more.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. The quick feet by Jackson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down in what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Jackson looking to throw on third. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Ingram, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening. They go play action here on 1st down. He uncorks it for Snead. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for the Ravens. 64 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with... Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson, he's going to air one out. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff to Ingram. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The delay of game, a costly one as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to...
Oh, no, he lost the football. Time for a break. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. They'll try and run. Ingram. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Ravens, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the